Appreciate you guys jumping on in, or X Crypto Live, wherever you guys are. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope the Blue Crew is doing well. Hope the Green Giants are doing well. Yeah, just hope everybody on the YouTube streets is doing great. We're going to go back to streaming on YouTube for right now, you guys. StreamYard has been going through some changes, and unfortunately those changes aren't beneficial for mobile streaming. So we're going to be doing streams from the YouTube from now on, or unless StreamYard decides to change their, how they do their mobile application, because, when I receive a donation through the StreamYard on the chats, I can't see the rest of the chat for the rest of the stream. And, the streams are all about the community. They're all about the comments that come up and everything like that. What's up, Xloyd? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Good to see that nice little blue castle logo. I see that's the Bluminati, right? Hey, it's all about the blue castle. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Thanks for the support already for those who are jumping in. If you're in the chat, feel free to say what's up. But yeah, we're going to be streaming from YouTube, for the foreseeable future until StreamYard, decides to either go back to what they had before or to improve their mobile application streaming, because it's definitely not fun not being able to see the chat through StreamYard because of all the windows that they've added, and you can't even single out a single comment anymore, which is, and if you do, you have to press the button like 3 times. So they did an upgrade. It didn't work out. It's changed the way we're going to be doing things here for a bit, but hey, man, we're used to just changing it up all the time. And it's always around this time of the year that I get a lot of my work. I think Legendary probably knows by now, like, hey, when it's not only when May step away and what is it in May, step away or walk away, right? Yeah, it's pretty true with us. We end up getting a ton of our work around this time of the year in the springtime going into summer. So the streams, I've been really hard to make time for. But hey, I'm just grateful to everybody who's still supporting and jumping on in. It looks like we're getting some bullishness, right? It looks like we're getting some recovery, at least. That's nice to see. We were expecting that as we were going into the sun transitioning into Taurus. It's good to see some green candles. It's good to see some options that we have, right? Where we can finally start taking some profits on, for example, like, hell, Immutable X, IMX, has gone up freaking from 40 cents all the way up to the 60 cents range. We're taking that to the bank, right? You got Kin that's doing some good things, a little bit of a recovery there. You got let me see, what else do we got? We got WorldCoin having a nice little recovery from the 60-ish cents range to the 80 cents range. We're seeing some low caps doing some good things and popping on off. XEN has gone back up to 2 cents. You got ZBEC still in the triple zeros, so I think ZBEC is still a pretty good value right there. What else do we got? You still got Kin at the 5 zeros range. I think Kin is still a tremendous value, even though it went up a little bit today. XPNet has been killing it, you guys. XPNet had a nice little run up. I want to celebrate with the Blue Crew on the XPNet call right there. I mean, hey, man, I was telling you, like, compared to, hey, I love ZBEC and all, but if we were just doing the numbers and the supply, XPNet also has connections with HBAR and Casper, dude. 1 billion supply. XPNet freaking took off from that triple zeros and started doing some really good things, man. It was awesome seeing XPNet just start to melt faces, right? I wanted to stream that day and just be like, ha, 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 I told you so. But I'm not like that type of guy, right? I don't want to be doing that for every freaking crypto. We talk about every crypto in the Deep Reds. We're not just going to be streaming and going, ha, 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 I told you so about every freaking crypto, right? It's just not our style. But much love to Papa Panda jumping on in. What's up, Stoned? What's up, Silver Days? Good to see you. Yeah, I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter. Certainly had an awesome birthday week, and then a nice Easter with the family, and just extremely busy. A lot of just long days. Yeah, so more Deep Reds that have turned around, or it seemed to turn around. We talked about Immutable X. Measurable Data Token had a nice, like, I'm telling you guys, these low cap cryptos, especially in a speculative cycle, are the ones that make the most gains. It's just what happens. It's the nature of the beast until we are in a truly regulated, and it's not just based on, investments aren't just based on speculation anymore. They're based on utility and, actuality, right? Like the reality of actual use of these digital assets and tokens. And I think we're already seeing kind of a separation from the ISO 20022s compared to the other cryptos. Hell, XRP, stood pat as best as it could above $1.50 during this bearish time. That's not to say that the bearishness is over either, because people say sell in May and walk away. So does that mean we're getting a nice little recovery rally before more bearishness ends up happening, before more bloodshed continues to go on? It looks like the crypto market is saying otherwise, because they saw Paul Atkins finally be elected as the SEC chair, right? So he's finally stepping in, and he's committed to working on, a regulatory environment for these digital assets. And it looks like, the way that they want to set up this regulatory environment is for, all this stuff to just continue going on, for the market to just continue being the way that it is. So if that's the case, it's going to be highly speculative yet again, right? Once again, we're still in the early days where we're trying to figure out, the overuse of electricity on Bitcoin. This is going to continue, right? People are going to get obsessed with mining. They're going to get obsessed with not only mining Bitcoin, any other freaking crypto that they can mine. It's going to be an overextensive use of energy and electricity. And then that's when the world leaders come in to try to figure out another alternative from spending so many resources on something that has already been solved, right? Proof of work is a problem. It's not a solution. It's not, once again, it hasn't even been proven to its fullest extent to be the best form of consensus, or to be the way that crypto has to be, right? We haven't mined the complete totality of Bitcoin yet. And I'm interested to see what happens when you mine all the Bitcoin. Does it stop? Does the proof of work stop? And I'm not saying that does, BTC stop. What I'm saying is, do they stop mining? Is the supply truly a fixed supply, or could it print more above the stated supply, right? We don't know that yet either. Imagine how many people will flip out if they found out that Bitcoin was actually inflationary and not, finite, right? So there's still that to figure out. They're still figuring out who the freaking creator is, right? Which so many people put their blind trust in, right? And just assume that this creator had the best of intentions, right? If this creator was so damn great, right? Don't keep any of your freaking Bitcoin for yourself, you dude. Like, he's got 1 million Bitcoin. That's a good amount of the freaking supply. That could crash a good amount of the price of Bitcoin if the Bitcoin price goes high enough, right? So we're going to trust an unknown entity with a good portion of the supply to do the right thing, right? There's just too much trust that's being put out there. I want to know who the creator is. I want to know his ultimate intentions. I'm not just going to trust a white paper that was, and the creator is possibly a group of people. Dragon Chain, dude, that case has not been resolved, which is freaking ridiculous. So this must mean that Dragon Chain is actually the chosen one that's going to set the standard for how digital assets should be regulated, right? So that's great news to hear. I'm just saying that for Coca-Cola. I'm sure he loves that. Shout out to everybody here. Much love to the Blue Crew. Small. It's like we're starting all over again. It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate the 10 viewers who are watching. Means the world. What else do we got, guys? What else do we got, Blue Crew? We got XRP is just getting more and more futures. The SME group has released XRP futures and micro futures for XRP. This is great. They're very forward-looking. They understand that XRP can do micro payments, right? This is huge. You also have Coinbase applying for a U.S. federal license, right, to be basically a bank, right? you're going to start seeing more of this, right? You've heard crypto.com predict that these crypto wallets will eventually be the new bank accounts, right? I don't know about that. Maybe you got an evolution, a merge. Maybe you can pair up your Coinbase with Bank of America, for example. I also think when is Ripple going to be the one that applies for this U.S. federal license to basically be a bank, to be their own middleman, right? This would be the ultimate end game right here for Ripple and XRP. Talk about wide use of XRP if Ripple were able to get this U.S. federated license or federal license. They've done so many steps leading into this direction that they will do that. So it's good seeing Coinbase being one of the ones that's jumping in to do it. But I think Ripple is the sleeper right here that is going to overtake, possibly get it even before Coinbase, right? So I'm really excited for Ripple to just keep pushing ahead and being the clear leader of the whole crypto space. And, that's just my opinion. I understand, you guys may say Coinbase, otherwise because they're not just only attached to a certain crypto. But I think Ripple is a sleeping giant. I think we're going to continue to start seeing, especially as we get closer to the super end of this freaking case. I can't believe that there's still other things, appeals or whatever, court hearings or whatever that has to happen. What a freaking, joke that is. But Ripple has been setting themselves up perfectly to be able to be accepted for a federal license. And then that is going to be the ultimate end game, I think, right there, because you're talking about just opening avenues of Ripple basically becoming a bank, right? And that's what Ripple is. It's basically a collection, an umbrella of global banks, right? Talk about all the banks that are part of Ripple here, right? So I definitely think that that's going to be one of the end games right there. It was great seeing a little sprinkling of that Coinbase is doing that, but I'm looking forward to seeing Ripple possibly towards the end of the year or towards the end of summer also being thrown into that basket. Gee, are you going to the moon party? Man, I don't have the dough to go to the moon party, man. I'm not spending dough. I've been the only party that I went to that, was at least cheap and affordable for me to go to was the Sacktown meetup. I'm not spending money on, XRP meetups before XRP is 589. That's just not yes, you get to meet the community and you get to really build, I guess some friendships and stuff like that. But damn, man, I'm not spending ZERPs on some, dude, ZERPs are $2. The trip to Vegas for me will be multiple hundreds of dollars. I ain't doing that, man. That's just not my, I don't have that type of money. I'm not freaking rich as duck, right? I don't have that would be me taking off a portion of some of my crypto holdings. And I just don't want to do that, man. I love y'all. I love the XRP community. But I've just been laser focused ever since the beginning, man. I don't go to any of these meetups. I just rather spend my money on continuing to accumulate more and more ZERPs, more and more XLM, more and more SHX, right? While they're still cheap, while they're still low. I'm not going to any party celebrating a $2 XRP, right? I want to go to a party celebrating 589 XRP. But also, I might not go to that party celebrating 589 XRP because there might be people there who freaking have bad intentions, knowing oh shit, this is going to be a party of just people who got rich as fuck from XRP, right? So whenever we do eventually do a meetup in the future, we'll see. But I'll probably go to the next Sacktown one because at least that's close by, and it's I only do it for, I'm only there for a day, and I don't have to spend a good amount of ZERPs to enjoy myself there. Double tap the screen for likes. Appreciate that, guys. But yeah, I don't want to say anything about other people who can afford it. I just can't, man. I'm freaking nose to the grind over here, man. I am basically I am just getting by every single month, paying rent, and then just building up my crypto stacks, man. It's all about that's my main focus right now. I feel like we may be turning a corner if we get some bullishness. I just really want higher prices, man. I'm not here to celebrate anything. right now until like we get higher prices in crypto, right? Yeah, exactly. Putting more into DRGN, putting more into kin, putting more into digital assets. I'm not here to freaking party right now, man. I'm here to work. I'm here to freaking put my nose to the grind. So when I look back 20 years from now or 10 freaking years from now, I go like, yeah, I freaking sacrificed a lot of things to not freaking, to be where I'm at today and enjoy this new life that I have in my blue castle, right? So, that's just my mentality, man. That's just my Tigers mentality. I'm not here to party right now. I'm an Aries and I love to party. Don't get me wrong. We party during our birthday week. But yeah, I'm not here to, spend a whole tank of gas going to Vegas, coming back from Vegas, or buying a plane ticket to Vegas and buying a plane ticket back from Vegas, spending money, because you're in freaking Vegas, you're going to spend some money you're going to gamble a little bit. You're going to buy some drinks. You're going to, where are you going to stay? Right? What room can you stay in? You got to get a room, right? It's just like, damn, dude, that's like buying the 2 pizzas with Bitcoin. Like, I'm not going to spend my XRP and make that the most expensive trip of my whole life, right? Like, that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm going to be like, look, if I went 5 years from now, I'll be like, damn, dude, holy crap, I spent over $100,000 worth of XRP and I didn't freaking even know it. Yeah, 80% of my income goes towards crypto. There you go, Soldier of Judah. You know what's up, man. You see it. You're not falling asleep and just taking crypto lightly. You're going like, damn, man, it is a blessing every single day that we get these prices so cheap, right? That I'm able to chip away little by little and getting whole numbers of these freaking cryptos, right? So that's what it's all about, man. I'm not here to party right now. I'm here to freaking work, right? I'm here to freaking accumulate. I'm not here to celebrate. I'm here to accumulate, right? That's what it is. That's what it is, right? And then I'll take it easy and have good vibes and good times with the Blue Crew, right? What do you think, what you think ZBEC can hit? I think ZBEC, at least for now, if we're still in a relief rally, if we're still getting a recovery rally, I could see ZBEC definitely going back up above the 000 range into maybe high 1500s. Maybe touching the 2000 mark, maybe. ZBEC is definitely a major sleeper, though. I think ZBEC definitely has the potential to hit 2 pennies in this bull cycle, and that's massive. Maybe if we get lucky, 5 pennies, right? Because you got the ZBEC card, you got high utility. There's a strong-ass community behind ZBEC, man. Like, I've been checking out some stats of the utility of some of these cryptos, and ZBEC for a low-cap crypto is way up there, right? And that's where you just see the value, because it's like, damn, you got this crypto in terms of utility being comped to some of the major cap cryptos, man. So ZBEC definitely a sleeper, even at these prices, if it's still at 000. But yeah, I think it can hit, maybe if we're the grandest of outcomes of this bull cycle, I think 5 cents, which is freaking ridiculous. Like, you guys are going to be, those who have like millions of ZBEC are going to be so freaking wealthy. That's going to be a nice return. You guys, some will probably sell before it hits 5 cents, right? Because you're seeing just a ridiculous amount of gains in your portfolio. But I think, yeah, I'll say 2 cents just to be safe. 2 cents, 2 pennies, right? We were able to see SHX with nothing going for it go from 000 to 3 cents, right? How come we can't see ZBEC do that at least? And obviously SHX is better than ZBEC, but ZBEC is still a great utility crypto. And, in terms of the supply, in terms of the price, I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. It is a layer 2, but, it's a high utility layer 2, that's for sure. Guys, we got 22 viewers. You just have to double tap the screen to hit the like and make it 22 likes for me. That would make it, we're basically starting all over again. We're going to just be streaming from YouTube from now on, because it helps me see the comments. But yeah, no, ZBEC is definitely going to be one of those ones that, dude, there's a bunch of low caps that are going to be melting faces, guys. And, that's why I like, some of the low cap cryptos, like the ultra low caps that are in Coinbase, that are around pennies in terms of their supply. That's why I talk about the measurable data tokens. You got a freaking billion supply, or less than a billion supply, with a penny, right? IOTX, billion or two supply. Deepin AI crypto at a penny. Rose, right? The Oasis network is at a penny. Provides decentralized recovery, AI, and privacy. You got XPnet, now probably at the 002s or the 001s, but that used to be a perfect 000, and it's still an amazing price to its supply. It's a billion supply. XPnet's going to hit a penny, y'all. XPnet is going to be going to a penny, with that supply. If you're already, and it's not even on Coinbase yet, right? It's an X crypto, connections with Hedera Hashgraph and the DREC Alliance and Casper, right? So XPnet still looking like a tremendous value, even if you didn't get in at the 000s with the Blue Crew. Aqua is still an amazing opportunity in the 000s. Aqua, better opportunity at 0006, but now up to 0007. Loving that it's at least moving on up. Love seeing NLT going from 4 zeros 14 to now 4 zeros 18. We are on the up and up. We got options now, and I'm holding on, man. That NLT that I was accumulating at 4 zeros 14, I'm waiting, man. I'm just gonna keep accumulating some NLT, and waiting for when people start talking about it again. Because you guys remember, Blue Crew was on it first, right? There's no doubt about it. The NLT is like Blue Crew's discovery, without a doubt. There's no limit to the no limit token. And we discovered it at $2.50 per million. Now it went to a low of about 12 cents or $12 per million, right? Now we're back up to about $17 per million. I still think it's, dude, people are going to come back and start talking about NLT again when it becomes $30 for a million or $50 for a million or $100 freaking dollars for a million NLT. I am so stoked, man. Blue Crew, we found a gem. We found a gem right there. What makes SHX better than ZBEC? Please explain. One thing. Just one thing. I just have to name one thing. It doesn't have to be everything about SHX. But one thing that makes SHX better than ZBEC is that Nacha, the ones that do trillions of dollars in ACH, Nacha has selected and acknowledged Stronghold as the preferred ACH ISO 20022 partner experience, right? You don't see ZBEC getting acknowledged by Nacha. Nacha runs trillions upon trillions of dollars in ACH. They've selected Stronghold as the preferred partner for that. They just acknowledged Stronghold yesterday as a gold sponsor for their payments innovation conference that they're doing, right? So Stronghold definitely has more history and more legs. And the creator created the first stable coins basically ever on the XRPL, right? So I don't want to, I'm not trying to down talk ZBEC in comparison to SHX. I'm just saying it's a clear better than ZBEC. Not saying only get SHX over ZBEC. I'm just saying SHX is a higher quality crypto, in my personal opinion, than that of a ZBEC. Hopefully that answers your question. Nacha has chosen Stronghold as the preferred partner for the ACH network experience with ISO 20022. We're not even in the era of ISO 20022. We're not even in the era of micropayments, which ISO 20022 is going to be a big component, paired up with, right? I understand ISO 20022 is just messaging, right? But that messaging has to be put in tandem with payments. And if you're creating a new form of messaging, that means you're creating a new form of payments. And if you're creating a new form of payments, that means you have to have this new form of messaging, right? So they go hand in hand. And the new messaging is going to be adaptable to micropayments. That's what it's all been about, is streaming little sub-cents of pennies for content consumption, for buying groceries, for living, right? So hopefully that's all right with you, VeChain Billionaire. I'm not trying to, once again, I love ZBEC. I think ZBEC is a tremendous value with where it's priced, its supply, the amount of utility that is going for it. But if you're asking me between ZBEC and SHX, I'm going SHX, man. I'm going Blue Castle, right? You guys know where the blue bricks of this Blue Castle started building, right? What's up? Yes, bless Boom King. Good to see you. My Decent wallet, good to hold my crypto. Yeah, dude. I mean, Decent's great, man. People love Decent, dude. I like LEPAL Titan Mini, right? I like the little LEPAL Titan Mini one, and I like SafePal. I think those two are both pretty good, but LEPAL is pretty. I mean, dude, that's officially air gapped. Tangem is also a good one. The Tangem card. Dude, yeah, GBEX looks like it's a dead coin, man. I'm happy I only threw 100 in on that, man. Freaking LEET got me in on GBEX. And I was like, okay, I'll throw a hundo at it, man. And we'll see what ends up happening. I'm staking it still to this day. But we'll see what ends up happening with GBEX. My gosh, man. It definitely looks like a dead crypto. But if we see XTC just booming and going to like 20 cents, I think we see GBEX. I mean, dude, that's the nature of a low cap crypto like GBEX, right? It's so low cap that if XTC were to run, you could possibly see hundreds of percents in 24 hours, in a 24-hour span on GBEX. But, you know, and that's what we're truly waiting for because, yeah, right now, if XTC ain't doing anything, you know, freaking GBEX ain't going to be doing shit. So, SHX, yeah, man, gotta love the blue bricks, dude. But yeah, hopefully that was enough. Like, I don't want to continue explaining, you know, more of why one crypto is better than the other. And at the end of the day, just because it's better doesn't mean it's going to outgain it, right? We've seen plenty of microcap cryptos outgaining, you know, cryptos that are definitely more worthy to have the bigger gains, right? We're still in a highly speculative cycle. So I don't want what I said about SHX to mean, oh, I'm just never going to buy any ZBEC, because ZBEC has so much momentum going for it that it can make you some freaking good gains that where you could maybe, you know, take some off the top and then freaking throw it into SHX while it's still down. Who knows? SHX is one of like the new ripples, right? Where they're going to keep playing mind games with your SHX, right? They knew they got a lot of people who just came in from that triple. They had to make that major move from triple zeros up to the pennies just to even it out, because they were going like, damn, this blue crew has acquired so much SHX at triple zeros that they flipped their own switch. So we got to support that switch, send it to multiple pennies so we get a lot of people chasing pumps at that point, and then kind of level it out all again when we crash it, right? And that's what happened with SHX right there, dude. It's just they let it run to 3 cents from triple zeros so they can just kind of wean out or get people to cash out that were buying in the triple zeros, right? Or get a lot of more people to chase the pump so then they can finally have like a little bit of some equilibrium now at around what, 0.008. It went down to as low as 0.003, right? I have 189 quadrillion Zora. Dude, no, Zora is ISO 20,000. Dude, that's the thing that's interesting about Zora and XOR is that it is ISO 20022 compliant. And it is working with Hyperledger. It is a very interesting project, no doubt about it. I mean, go you for having the means to not only acquire other cryptos, but acquire 189 quadrillion Zora. You're a freaking madman, dude, but you'll definitely be the biggest beneficiary of this new economy that I guess Zora is building, right? XOR is an interesting crypto, without a doubt, you guys. Damn, 189 quadrillion, man. I just got millions of Zora. I'm just a little baby compared to you, Soldier of Judah. But I've been accumulating good amount of Val token, that's for sure. I hope you're staking your Zora so you can accumulate some Val token, because the Val token is a finite supply, right? DO, the other ecosystem cryptos around the Zora, you know, in the Zora ecosystem, Ton, right? If you're supporting Zora, then you're really hoping Ton and Polkadot are going to be booming in the future, right? Those may be a good triplets right there, XOR or Val token with Ton and what's it called? And Polkadot, right? Where do you get Zora? Oh my gosh, man. The easiest way to get Zora for me has been buying Polkadot on Coinbase, getting the Fearless wallet, there's a wallet called Fearless. Getting that Fearless wallet, I don't know if you can do it through the Soro wallet yet. I'm not sure about that. But I go through the Fearless wallet and I make it a mobile, a web browser extension. I'll send my Polkadot there, swap it for XOR, and then I stake my XOR through PokaSwap. I have 12 quadrillion and only put in $22. Oh my God. You can get quadrillions of XOR now. You can get quadrillions of XOR now for 22 bucks. Man, so that must mean my XOR that I put in originally is just at like negative amounts then. Like in terms of dollar amounts, it must be negative. No way. Yeah, you could do Decent swap. Okay, cool. Decent swap for XOR. Nice. That's good to know that Decent's got some XOR there. XOR. I can't believe we're talking about the trashiest of the trash of cryptos, man. XOR is such a black hole. I think you guys are excited about XOR because you avoided the shift of the supply from millions of XOR to quadrillions of XOR. Like what? Man, you know we're at the pit of the trash when we're talking about XOR. Like, this is what the Blue Crew is all about, man. We talk about XOR, we talk about NLT, we talk about KIN, we talk about ZBEC. I mean, ZBEC's not even a trash crypto. I don't think I would throw it into the trashiest of the trash, but we would talk about, like, we go into such terrible cryptos, you guys. We go into, we're like, hey, but it's ISO 20022 compliant. We got to get it. Right? We go into the trashiest of the trash for sure. For sure. XOR, KIN, GBEX. Let's throw GBEX in there. So many trashy cryptos. NLT. Hell, let's throw BGI in there. The Big Genie. I know a lot of people are losing faith in Big Genie, man. That thing just keeps cranking out rewards every day that I just keep shifting into NLT or SHX. But yeah, I would say those are the top trash three right there, man. XOR, KIN, and GBEX. I might be missing another one, though. What's up, Bobby T? Good to see you, man. Yeah, we're just talking about XOR. That's when you know it's gotten bad, man. I'm still liking Immutable X at 60 cents, guys. That supply with the price is still looking pretty good to me. I like it under $1. I liked it more when it was at 40 cents when we were talking to y'all about it. But hey, IMX, IOTX and IMX are some of the X cryptos that I'm excited about that you can get easily through Coinbase. XDC is, dude, XDC might be the biggest sleeper, I think, because you've already had so many of the other ISOs like kind of running and getting their day in the sun and getting some talk, right? And now that it's super about USA cryptos only, XDC is kind of being the forgotten man. And I think that's time for us to take advantage, man, because we know XDC is a, top trash is Dragon. Yeah, Dragon Chain could be trash as well, man. Yeah, sure, why not? Dragon Chain, I wouldn't say it's like, the biggest of trash, but definitely it's an ISO 20022 compliant crypto that's, got patents and got all the good stuff, quantum resistant, right? I've been aware of SHX since it was at 0007, just sold my XOR. Oh, nice, man. Nice, dude. Yeah, no, exactly, dude. We were here in 2023, and before, dude, we've been following SHX ever since it was created, back in 2018 or when we, started really looking into it, because we were so about XRP and XLM, and then hearing about Stronghold and, their connections with Ripple, Sean Bennett having created a stable coin with, having created the stable coin, for XRP, right? Yeah, dude, I mean, and then having the first stablecoin that IBM accepted for Stronghold USD, right? So, yeah, very excited for SHX still. That's awesome that you got in at 0007. Blue Crew is, definitely, was very aware of it in the 000s as well, and, for multiple years. We've been supporting it at every phase of its price, though, really. Like, yeah, we have a long history. We were buying SHX at like what? Penny 005, right? Originally. Then it went down to 000s, and then we just kept buying, man. We just didn't stop. Please keep the Aqua flowing. Aqua is another great trash crypto, man. The Aqua must flow. The Aqua must flow. The Big Genie must grant all of our wishes. There's no limit to the NLT token. And we're stacking up blue bricks with the Blue Castle on SHX. Guys, it's been good being back on a stream, talking with y'all again. We'll try to, this is a really busy time of the year for us, but we will try to at least do a stream a week or a stream every other day if we can. Even if it's for 30 minutes or so. But I appreciate everybody's support to the channel as we continue just evolving and growing as the Blue Crew, as the community, as the Deep Red Alliance. What do you think about TFT on... Can you give me the full name of TFT? I feel like I've heard that before. Can you give me the full name of what TFT is? That sounds so familiar. But I do like other XLM ecosystem tokens if we want to talk about other... Threefold, right? Threefold token. I think you're talking about Threefold token. That's an interesting one. The thing that I don't like about Threefold, I don't think Stellar supports them, right? Yeah, I knew it was Threefold before you said. I think I remember doing some research into that. It is probably worth the risk in terms of where its price and supply is at, and possible utility, and especially since the XLM ecosystem is just dead in the dumps right now. That TFT is probably a nice little risk. I would just try to make it a flip play for me personally. I don't think Stellar supports or has acknowledged Threefold, but I could be mistaken. So yeah, TFT is a little bit skeptical to me, but I don't mind acquiring some just to see if that pans out. Definitely Blend, BLND, XRF. Let's not forget about, dude, that's an X crypto that people are sleeping on, man. The CTO of Stellar has shouted out this crypto multiple times. XRF Reflector is one of my favorites in that XLM ecosystem right there, especially just because we got in so early. Blue Crew, we saw Reflector and we were like, oh my gosh, a native Oracle solution for the Stellar ecosystem with Sorbonne smart contracts and all that type of stuff, and it's still being in the early days, early years. This is how we felt about Aqua, right? So we're very excited for XRF. PHO, the Phoenix DeFi Hub, is awesome for DeFi options in the XLM ecosystem that you can take advantage of now. Dogstar, the XStar token. We got a bunch of red dogs running around our Blue Castle now, right? There's a freaking red dog for every blue princess that's in that Blue Castle, man. And we got blue roses just filling up our garden. We got blue dragons flying outside of the castle. We got Electronium with blue lightning striking all over the place, man. Electronium is still one of the biggest sleepers out there, part of the Digital Pound Foundation connections with Ripple and XRPL. Smart contracts already enabled, and it's only been a year. Hell of a high transaction speeds, right? Electronium's going to be a major sleep. I think Electronium's going to melt some faces for sure in this next bull cycle, if it isn't only about American cryptos. Let's see what else. A0, dude. I don't know what's going down with A0. I gotta do some more. I need to get some updates on what's going on with their team or whatnot. But I hope A0 is doing all right. Where can you buy XRF? XRF you can get through Lobster Wallet. So if you have a Lobster wallet, that's like the essential wallet for the XLM ecosystem. You can swap your XLM for XRF. You just have to add the asset. How do you know you're adding the right asset? You go to sdexexplorer.com and then you look for XRF, and then you make sure you have the correct issuer address or the appropriate last 4 digits of the issuer address when you're adding XRF to your Lobster wallet, and then you can just swap your XLM or USDC for XRF. I love providing liquidity, my XRF to liquidity pools with my Aqua, especially, if we're going back on the up and up and we're at the bottoms of some of these cryptos, man. This is the time. This is the time for amazing opportunities in the Aqua LP ecosystem, right? Being able to set up, your foundations, pairing up with your Aqua, your XLM, your SHX, your BGI, your freaking, Dogstar, just anything with Aqua, and just boosting those liquidity rewards, accumulating more Aqua, freezing the hell out of that Aqua to just keep boosting your liquidity pool rewards. That's what it's all about. CPH, yeah, that's definitely a trash crypto for sure. For sure, Amwood. That is definitely one of the star trash cryptos right there. Thanks, Gary. Hey, appreciate you making it near the end here. Thanks, Gary. But, you know, it's been a hell of a stream if you want to play it back. Martyrs here. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate any new subscribers to the channel. It's awesome getting 31 viewers on just a YouTube stream. Usually we try to do simulcast with YouTube and X, and most of the viewers usually come through X. So I'm just happy to see that we still have a strong YouTube contingent that's supporting us here. I'm so grateful, you guys. DTCC is to release a 4-stage fix. So awesome. They called out Stellar and Ripple. Ooh, I like that. Damn, it's about time DTCC starts acknowledging Ripple and Stellar, man. They've been only on the Ethereum train for a while, right? Even though Ripple has had former members of the DTCC be part of their advisory board, right? We haven't seen anything with the DTCC really acknowledging Ripple and Stellar. So that's great to see right there, guys. Shout out to cloud storage. Oh, Billionaire, threefolds the cloud storage one. Yeah, I mean, that's huge, right? Obviously, like things like Render Token, AKT, Filecoin, Siacoin, right? Those are going to be the major decentralized cloud solution, you know, that are going to draw investment. But yeah, threefold can be definitely one of those. And if it's doing cloud solution or cloud storage in the for the XLM ecosystem, then that's huge, man. Yeah, nobody's talking about a lot of things, man. I think people honestly have just either gotten so desensitized from the, like, they're so down about it not booming when the new administration came in that they're just not talking about, like, dude, there's been magnificent news for XRP and Ripple, you guys. Ripple and XRP have just been winning, building. Like, don't be surprised if they end up being the #1 crypto company of all time. Like, just don't be surprised, right? Let's see what else we got. And then don't be surprised if Stellar becomes the #1 crypto nonprofit of all time, right? Nonprofit foundation. Gotta love that value in the XLM ecosystem. Still loving the value in the Cosmos ecosystem as well. Cosmos ecosystem, you know, we talked about Atom under $5, if it's still under $5. What else do we got? AKT, right? If AKT is still under $2, if Osmo is still under $1, Injective, what else do we got? Regen is still at around a penny or two, I'm sure. I'm just staking that thing to oblivion, man. I can't wait for Regen to just freaking melt some faces. I want to see Regen go to $1 plus, man. I want to see that partnership with Ripple and Solana really coming through for Regen and the Cosmos ecosystem. Cosmos ecosystem is possibly the biggest sleeper. We've been talking about the Cosmos ecosystem and HBAR ecosystem being the two ecosystems to get the most exposure to in 2025. I still feel that way, man. I think XX Network is still our deep red of the year, right? XX Network still at around 2 pennies. XX Network is going to melt faces, guys. XX Network is going to go above 20 cents easily above 20 cents. So I'm liking a 10x opportunity there for XX Network. WorldCoin, finally getting WorldCoin getting closer to $1. I still love it under $1 for WLD, the leading digital identity crypto. But yeah, the Cosmos ecosystem, dude, I just want to be building up assets in there, staking them endlessly, and then just waiting for the biggest fat cream candles to happen in that ecosystem and cash out my freaking rewards while everybody else is flooding on in and then staking and then getting owned. You know what I'm saying? And then getting destroyed by the sell-offs, because that's what happens, man. People will go like, they'll start seeing green candles and they're like, oh shit, maybe I should start getting into DeFi right now. And then they start like staking and then realize, oh man, to unstake it takes 2 weeks, right? So if I wanted to do some trades, you know, like they start learning the, you know, the tough things about staking through the Cosmos ecosystem, especially. But, you know, that's why you want to have it all preset. You want to already have you don't want to be accumulating Cosmos when it's green. You want to be accumulating the Cosmos when it's red, building up those freaking staking rewards. So when it does go green, you don't have to undelegate and wait 2 weeks to get your trade. You can just sell off your rewards. Bam, you got your profits, and you're probably closer to your initial investment, or if not beyond your initial investment, and now you're just playing with house money that's staking there for you and building up rewards, right, for multiple bull cycles to come, right? I like H-Suite on HBAR. H-Suite's a good one. Hashpack. Let's not sleep on the PAC token. That's part of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance, right? So Hashpack is definitely a great one. The PAC token. Saucer Swap. I love the sauce. Dovu, right? Karate, right, in the HBAR ecosystem. I got to do some more deep diving in the HBAR ecosystem, see if we can. XPNet, we've talked about XPNet. I love XPNet. XPNet is one of my favorites in terms of price to supply dynamics right there. It's still highly undervalued in my opinion. Bank Social is another one, right? BSL, let's not forget about BSL. We got to throw that into the trashiest of the trash cryptos, because that crypto is perfect, man. Perfect in every freaking word, or in every way, man. I love that it's at triple zeros. I love how low the supply is, right? And I'm very excited to see what BSL is going to do, because they can provide, decentralized recovery. The chat AI pump, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. We got that earlier this year. We just got like chat AIs pumping and stuff like that, or AI cryptos pumping. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in for another DL talk. X Crypto Live. I'm so grateful for everybody's support as always. Hopefully you guys got to catch most of the stream. If not, rewind it back and do your thing. I mean, we talked about a lot of good cryptos, and we'll continue to keep talking about more deep reds. We're just trying to find deep reds, man. Like, now that things are kind of pumping, we can celebrate a little bit, but we're just still trying to find what can we chip away at a little bit today and add our positions. I bought some BSL thanks to you, brother. Blessings, man. Oh, dude, VeChain. Shout out to you, man. Don't say thanks to me though. I don't want to be to thank or to blame if BSL does or doesn't work out. How about we just say thanks, Blue Crew? Thank you, Blue Crew, for all the good times and the good vibes, man. So appreciate everybody. It's a hard out since we're streaming from YouTube again, so we don't have our clips anymore, unfortunately, because those are on StreamYard, and StreamYard doesn't want to change its format, right? No blame, VJ. I got you, brother. Much love to you, man. Much love to everybody here. Always grateful for the support, you guys. The future is distributed ledger technology, and the future is bright. Our future is bright. We got the golden eye. We keep it crypto, and I'm going to keep trying if you guys keep trying. I'm going to keep buying if you guys keep buying. Let's keep stacking up blue bricks. I'll see you guys in the blue castle. Much love. Adios. Look at the moon. That is definitely not normal.